Welcome back to episode 5 of the Plamotherapist podcast. If you are new here, my name is Taz. I run the Plamotherapist YouTube channel, and my purpose for this podcast is to teach you guys how model kits can benefit your mental health and how you can use psychology to game your model kits to get more out of each and every build. If this sounds like something you want to learn more about, please consider subscribing or following wherever you're listening to this podcast. I'm available on YouTube as well as Spotify, but you can also reach out to me on Instagram if you can find me there. Now, last episode when we talked about why you shouldn't follow people on social media, and I give you 3 reasons why. Now, today's episode is going to be kind of a part 2 to that, and what I'm going to go over is actually 3 reasons why you should follow people on other social media platforms. And so, getting right into it, social media can be something of a give and take. We may need to know when we want to engage with it and when we don't want to engage with it. And so, based on my last episode, a lot of people may be thinking like maybe I should stop social media, but I wanted to give you guys a reason why you should stay on and give you guys reasons why you should look into your relationships that you have on social media to find out if these are going to be positive ones that are going to help you or if they're negative ones that you may need to cut out. So getting into number 1, social media allows us to connect to our community. Now, when it comes to the Gunpla community, of course, we're going to be connecting to people that are like-minded to us, that enjoy the same things as us. Why does that matter? Well, psychology has found that social acceptance is a huge barrier against depression, against other mental health disorders. The idea of feeling connected to something larger than yourself can really be the difference between someone who may be experiencing symptoms of depression or being able to cope with it regularly because they have a support network of people that accept them based on some things that they like. Now, it's not to say that, I only like you because you build Gunpla or because you build model kits. That is how you can start the friendship. But eventually what you're going to build is you're going to build that connection with that person where your conversations are going to extend beyond Gunpla to, yo, bro, how's your day going? Hey, man, how's that kit coming along? Hey, I had a question for you. Do you mind helping me out? And so when we get into these social communities, we start to feel validated. We feel like a person that is valued because people talk to us. They engage with us. We get to engage with them. We can make other people feel a part of the community, a part of the social media crowd that we're seeing. So if you're on social media, it helps us to connect to the people that are in our community and makes us feel validated as a member that belongs to something. So that's point number 1 for why we should follow people on social media. So not only does that allow us to connect to other people, but let's say you start building a project. This is going to be the gaming side of it, using the psychology to benefit our kits. What we can do is we can hold ourselves accountable with our social media. For example, if I post a work in progress kit, I'm giving people the idea that I'm going to be finishing this kit and they should stick around to find out how it turns out. Now, for me, I'm trying to run this as a business. I'm trying to grow as a platform so I can do this more full time. So for me, it helps hold me accountable. But for people who may not be trying to build this as a business, it could just be something that you do for a hobby that you absolutely enjoy. It's something that you can hold yourself accountable to your friends. Hey, I'm working on this kit. And our friends can be like, yo, how's that kit coming along? And you can talk to them about it. Maybe you're like, yo, it's going great. I'm moving on to masking today. Tomorrow, I should be finishing everything up and putting some top coat down before panel lining. Or it could be like, hey, I'm really having trouble with this kit, and then you can go in to those conversations about what's going on, how they can help you, and maybe you just need a vent session. And that's the entire reason why we connect with others on social media. We want to feel a part of something, and we want to feel validated for our feelings. And so if you find the right group of people within your community, that can be a really big benefit to our mental health, and we can hold ourselves accountable for our kits. Point number 1. Moving on to point number 2, and this is going to be the big thing for my channel, is social media allows to make social learning infinitely accessible. A lot of big words, but let's break it down. First, let's talk about what is social learning. Well, social learning is any learning that is done by somebody teaching it to you as opposed to you learning on your own. Now, a lot of schools are like that, where teachers are going to teach the kids how to do certain things. And that's going to be a big thing about my channel, where I teach you guys how to do certain things so that you guys can get better at your kits faster. You don't have to make the same mistakes I did. You can take the things that I've done, apply it to your kits, and see if that works for you, tweak it, make it a little bit different. And then now, going back to point number 1, connect to the community, bring what you've learned back in and teach us something that you've learned. Maybe I start with a idea where I put forth an idea and you take it and you tweak it and you're like, you know what? Taz lives in a very warm area, but for me, where it's nice and cold, I need to warm my paint up before I spray if I'm doing rattle cans or something, you know? Take the information that I give you and fit it to make it work. So now you can share what you've learned with others, and then you pass on that information. And with social media being readily available at our fingertips, you can go ahead and pull out your phone and YouTube a video on how to do something, and there will guarantee be a video on how to do it. And you don't have to take the time to make those mistakes. You can start off at square 5 rather than square 1. You don't need to start off saying, I don't even know what tools I need. You can watch a video to see what tools you need to get started and some pitfalls you can avoid without even having to make those mistakes. So social media makes social learning so easily, so readily available. You can learn things from others. You can get better by looking at others, learning from them, and then sharing back anything that you have to add, anything that you can do to improve the information. And that can bring the entire community up as a whole, because now everybody is now starting at a higher level and we can push the bar up higher and everybody can grow with us. Everybody can benefit from the things that I teach, from the things that you might teach, from the thing that your friend might teach. We can all share this information and we can all get better at the same time. And maybe we're not quite ready to step into the new things, but don't worry, that information is always going to be there. You can always go back to refer to it, and you can always know that if you have any questions, there is something that you can refer to. So take the time to connect with people that are going to teach you something. Maybe find somebody that's better than you and reach out to them. Make that social connection so you can benefit by talking to them like, hey, I had a question. Did you mind helping me? I'm sure there's going to be some bad eggs that would be like, nah, trade secret, bro, can't teach you. But that's fine. You don't want to be that friend anyway. You can find somebody who will teach you. For me, anything that I know, I will be more than happy to teach you guys. If you have any questions, reach out. Instagram, YouTube, comments. If you follow me on Facebook or we're friends on Facebook in the same groups, send me a messenger message. Ask me questions. I'm more than willing to take my time to help you guys, because anytime I help you guys be happy with your kit, that makes me happy. And so by helping you, you help me feel better. So any questions, please do not be afraid to ask. Even if it's the middle of the night for you, I will respond as soon as I can. I may not respond immediately, but if I wake up the next morning, I'll try to answer it as soon as I can. Maybe if I'm on a lunch break, I'll check my phone to see if any messages come in and I can respond to you guys, because my information shouldn't be kept to me. I want to share everything that I know with you guys, from Gunpla to mental health to just taking care of yourself. That's all things that I'm more than willing to give to you guys, because if you can take it, make it better, and teach me something, then in the end, even I benefit from that too. So learn, ask questions, connect with people, share the knowledge that you grow from. Okay. So that's point number 2. Social media allows us for the infinite connection of social learning. Moving on to point number 3, which is going to be that social media leaves a legacy. Now, what does that mean? Well, think of it this way. If you have kids and your kids have grandkids, and maybe they don't get to meet grandpa for whatever reason that may be, your social media posts can be a legacy for them. They can be a way to say, hey, I've never met grandpa, but they have an opportunity to get to know who you are. They can see the posts that you put out. They can see the words that you say. They can listen to your voice. They can hear the things that you talk about. So they can be like, wow, grandpa was a really cool dude that built model kits. Or yeah, grandma was a really cool lady that built model kits. You know, whoever it may be, just leave a legacy for those after you. You can make sure that the people that you love, that know you, can still keep you around even a little bit in their hearts. And they can refer back to the post that you made and remember the person that you are today, just as you are. So social media likes to leave a legacy. Not only that too, but not just for the other people in our lives, but social media can leave a legacy for ourselves. For example, I want you to go back to your very first post, your very first Instagram post, or your very first YouTube video, or whatever it may be. Go back to that very first one about Gunpla and look at where you were then. Look at where you started. And then I want you to look at your kits where you are now. If you want to, look at the progression of how you got there. I know I keep all of my kits that I've built. I have a glass case out in my bedroom where I keep all of my first kits. I have my first painted kit in there. I have my first built kit back from when I returned to the hobby in there. Why? Because it shows me how far I have come. And I keep, I keep a couple of kits close by, like this one here, because I'm still technically not done with it, but I can see where I started. I can remember that for me, and I can see where I'm going with the kits that I have around me. So leave a legacy not only for the others, but also for yourself. So connect not only with your people around you, your community, not only with the other people that can teach you things, but connect with your legacy, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren even, and allow them to figure out who you are. And you can also keep a track record of who you were, and you can see your growth and how far you have come in this hobby. So 3 tips being: 1, connect with the people around you. 2, learn from the people around you and share what you have learned. 3, be there for the people that you love. Be there for the people that love you. So kind of going back into last week's video and today's video, how do you find that balance between what is too much social media and maybe cutting back, or maybe you want to connect more? And honestly, it's a give and take. There is no right or wrong answer as far as what you need at exactly the right moment. All you can do is just based on how you feel, and trust your gut. Your gut is going to give you a good, temperature check of how things feel. Hey, today I don't feel like going on social media because maybe I'm kind of stressed out about certain things. I need to focus on this kit that I'm having trouble with, and I'm lacking the motivation. Maybe I just need some time to myself, and that's okay. Maybe you need to get onto social media because you're like, man, I need a few minutes. I need to message my buddy. Hey, give me some words of encouragement. I got to get this kit done. And your friends can be like, yo, you got this. Or you can message me. I got you, man. Hey, you can get this done. I believe in you. It may be scary, but you can do it. And so maybe you feel like you need to connect to some people to get hyped up. Maybe you need some time to yourself to take a break from things, to reconnect with yourself. Reconnect with yourself, figure out where you are, where you stand, and then make your decision from there. There will be days where you see posts and you're just like, that's enough social media for today, right? Or you may log on and you may be like, yo, I'm going to share this meme with all of my friends. That's what social media is about. It's connecting with people, but you need to be able to monitor yourself on those connections. Be honest with yourself. Am I just scrolling mindlessly, or am I making meaningful connections on social media? And I'm guilty of it. I mindlessly scroll from time to time. I'll go through reels. I'll watch everybody's stories. I'll go through the whole motion and not even think about doing anything for minutes, hours on end. It happens. That's okay. But once you start to feel those negative feelings, if you just cannot get over those negative feelings, I want you to try to remember me talking about moderation, talking about turning off social media. So if you start to have those negative feelings, remember my voice, turn off, go connect, or just build. Just build. Do whatever you can to make yourself happy. If you're not happy scrolling, go build. If building doesn't make you happy, go take a walk, go play with your dog, go exercise, go down to the store, go grab some food, something to eat, maybe go get some ice cream or something. Do something that's going to make you happy. But if any of those negative emotions set in, I want you to break away and go do something different. Get out of that cycle so you can make the correction. And eventually it'll get easier. The first time is going to be hard. Maybe you'll catch yourself in a spiral for 10, 20 minutes before you make a change. But as you start to be more mindful, you'll make those changes sooner. You'll be able to react to the negative feelings sooner. You'll be able to adjust faster. So be mindful of the time you spend on the platforms. Make meaningful connections. And if there are negative connections on the platform, don't be afraid to cut them out. Don't be afraid to unfollow. Don't be afraid to block. Even for me, if someone trying to grow a brand, I need to block people from time to time. I need to say, no, I need to stop. I need to unfollow. This person isn't benefiting me. They aren't a positive force for me. I'm just as human as you are. I am just as susceptible to positive and negative influences as anybody else. I just need to be more mindful of the ones that I follow. I need to be more mindful of the ones I follow in the future, because I am trying to build a presence here. So be mindful of the people that you follow. Take care of the ones that are good to you. Cut out the ones that are bad for you, and make your social media platform somewhere where you want to belong, somewhere where you want to be a part of, because ultimately you're going to build a tribe around you of people that you would love and you enjoy. And if you do that, it's going to make you feel that much more connected, make you enjoy everything that much more. And people may call it an echo chamber, but that's not what the point of social media is. An echo chamber is not something that we need to be afraid of. If we just need positive reinforcement, that's good. And if you have friends that genuinely care for you, they will give you the real talk when you need it. Trust your friends, trust what they're saying. Give them the benefit of the doubt that they are there looking out for your best interests, okay? Because if you show them that you're caring for them, they will give the same vibe to you. And if any time that is broken or that is abused, you are more than welcome to cut them out and find new friends to connect to. There are so many people in this space that you can relate to, you can find to make build groups with, you can do collaborations with, go build whatever you want and send it off to a friend. There are so many people in this space. You do not have to feel like you do not belong. Even if you make just one friend, even if it's just me, I will be there for you. I will be your friends because you belong in this hobby just as much as I do, just as much as the great builders that are making YouTube videos are getting millions of views, just as much as the guy who bought his first kit and is breaking runners off by his hands like I did back when I was in elementary school. No matter where you are in this hobby, if this is something you love, then you belong. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you found some value in this video. And remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, go do what you love, and I'll see you in the next one.